Because of the climate crisis, one of the consequences are related with water in general and how a lot of people are not going to have this basic service that we need for life. Talking about water is very related with adaptation and also understanding that, for example, a public politic related with having more people accessing to drinking water is also a measure of adaptation of the climate crisis. Or for example, in Argentina, last summer we had a big heat wave. And what happened there, that in the slums in Buenos Aires, where I live, they didn't even have access to water during the heat wave. So that's a link that we need to understand. Or for example, during the pandemic, the slums, some slums, doesn't have a connection to drinking water or even to water. In my country, 5 million people don't have access to basic services such as drinking water. So it's not that, for example, I'm going to be more affected by the climate crisis, but those people that now don't have that services, they are going to be the most affected people, and we need to understand that. Well, at this COP, one of the biggest issues that we have is loss and damages and climate finance. Why? Loss and damages because global south countries or some communities don't have the resources to address the climate crisis, and who is going to pay the consequences that we already have now, because sometimes people think that the climate crisis is something that is going to happen in the future.
It's one of the most basic things, isn't it, water?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's really, really important to start talking more about the connection between climate justice, or in general climate action, and also water action and water and sanitation action. I started as a climate activist, and then I had the opportunity of being a youth champion of sanitation and water for all, and it changed my whole perspective about it, because of course I knew that water is something really, really important, but then knowing more facts and more information about it, it made me realize that it's something that for sure it has to be one of the main topics when we talk about the climate crisis, and more in the global south, I would say.